Student, very good morning. We are going to start this session in next 2 minutes of time.
Yes, can you hear me?
We can get started, Karthi.
Very good morning to all the students who are present here from all 4 campuses. It's a pleasure to meet you virtually and to host you to discuss about your future career placement opportunities from our esteemed director, Dr. V. Samuel Rajkumar sir, who's been a veteran in this placement for the last 25 years and having got more than 50,000 plus offers for different students across all the campuses we have. We also welcome all the deputy directors of all other campuses from Chennai, AP and Bhopal, and also the Vellore team and CTS team over here for today's orientation program. Over to our director, sir, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Karthikeyan. On behalf of the Career Development Center, CDC, I welcome you all for this orientation session. It's a good news for all of us that we would be meeting you very shortly, maybe in a short span of within a week. So this presentation is about the placement policies and procedures that we would be following. So you would be the first person from the 2023 batch who will be starting your campus placements very shortly. Once you are on campus, we plan to start the season by the end of March itself with the internship placement starting. So this is about the Career Development Center. Previously, we were known as PAT, Placement and Training. So last 1 year, actually, we have renamed the center as Career Development Center, adding in some more roles and responsibilities into the placement and training. Apart from the placement training, actually, we also facilitate higher education training, which has come into our fold now, in the sense we help the students in their higher education opportunities as well. We do training for the students who aspire to do their higher education. We also facilitate the industry certification. We have a separate slide for that. I will talk about that. We help the schools in building the curriculum through the industry engagements. Actually, the curriculum that what you learn is facilitated by CDC, in the sense actually we invite industry to in the upgradation of the curriculum. And we also have student workshops, faculty development programs we facilitate from the industry. We also have a industry conclave, in the sense actually we invite the recruiters in all the major 4 cities, and we take the feedback from the industry who come and recruit from VIT. Based on that, we revise our curriculum so that you have an added advantage when you go for a campus placement process. So we also facilitate the soft skills training and the regular placement training. So you will start attending the placement training process once you start once we start with the placement season. Okay, we have already registered you for the placement process. So the January to February is the registration process. I hope all of you have been registered now. I think we have floated the registration notice a couple of days back, and we have given time till 28th of February. The one thing which we want to stress that is it is not a one-time registration. So some of your friends who have got an arrear or a backlog, in case if they want to register, so as and when they clear their arrears or backlogs, they will be registered. So you can just inform your classmates in case if they are not present in the orientation now. In case if they have a backlog, if they clear that, they can attend the selection process. We will do a registration for them. In reverse, in case if you get an arrear or a backlog during this semester, then you will not be eligible for attending the placement season as and when it starts. Actually, in the sense, at the time of the selection process, you should not have any current backlog. So it is not, this eligibility criteria is not given by the placement office. It is given by the industry. That's the regular norms which is being followed by the industry over the years. So please ensure that this semester you are very cautious and try to boost your CGPA if you are a 2-year MTech in your 2-year MTech program. So this CGPA will matter a lot. In case if you are able to boost that in your second semester, then you will have a bigger chances of attending the better companies when it comes for campus placements or internships. So February to March we will be doing training. I would emphasize that whatever training we do, please do attend the training. Actually, please do not miss out on the training part. So this is the next 2 months. The training what you're going to undergo will determine your career. So you may think that actually I'm good in technical skills, I'm good in programming or coding. Why should I take a training actually? Once the placement season starts, you may not have any training and you may not have even trained to brush up your fundamentals. So this is a ideal period for you to brush up your skills, and we will facilitate training for you. Please do not miss out on any training. Please don't take anything for granted. So the concept that you have studied in your curriculum and the concepts that you are going to face through the interviews during the selection process, it's going to be entirely different. So you need to prepare yourself well, and whatever being done by the CDC, I request you to take it with utmost seriousness. So for you, the placements for the PG students, except for the MSc data science and computational statistics students where they have a 6 months internship. So the 2-year MTech, the MTech software engineering and MCA students will have 10 month internship, and for which the process will start in March or beginning of April. And for getting selected, you'll have to go for the internship in the month of August, the first week of August, after your term and exams, your fast track is over. So our regular placement season will start in July. So in which actually, in the internship, you will be attending only with your fellow PG students. But when we start with the placement season in July, you will have the BTechs and their UG students also participating along with you in the selection process. So we have different categories of companies. So I will explain that in the next slide. We start with the super dream company in the placements. Actually, the companies which offer the more than 10 lakhs per annum are termed as super dream companies. Companies with 6 to 10 lakhs are termed as dream companies. So the placement process is throughout the year, and we don't have any except for the term and exams or Diwali holidays. You will have the placement process going on throughout the year. So we have different categories of companies. So this is the category. So this is the internship stipend and the CTC ranges. So we start with again the highest paying stipend paying company, or the company that has recruited regularly from VIT in big numbers. So these companies will get a premium slot, and we go with the internship process. So super dream companies are 10 lakhs and above. This is a generic term in the sense actually we don't, in some cases actually there may be some companies that may offer less than 10 lakhs also given a super dream status. So depending on the brand, depending on the number of students they recruit. So how do you find out the company's category? Is that actually you have to see your placement notices that are being issued by the CDC to find out the category which is mentioned. So if it is super dream company, then you can see it on the notice and apply accordingly. So the IT services companies are those companies like TCS, Cognizant, Infosys, Wipro, which come with a CTC of 3 to 6 lakhs. So they do recruitment in September. followed by the dream companies and the dream core companies. So you would have heard about dream companies. Now for last 3 years, we have even separated these dream companies into dream IT and dream core. If you are from a core engineering branch like MTech CAD/CAM or mechatronics or even VLSI, and you get into a software company, you will be still allowed to sit for a dream core company for the selection process. So if you are from the core engineering branch, again, you may get frustrated when you see more number of IT companies coming in. But that's the situation right now, in the sense actually the calendars are different. The placement calendars are different. You have to be patient. In the sense these core companies will come in terms of placements they recruit in their final when you are in the final semester. So because they do not have a reserve, they don't do a reserve placements. Actually, they do a just-in-time hiring, in the sense they do the process in the final semester so that the students can join within couple of months. So in case if you see more number of notices being floated from the IT category, don't get frustrated. You will have your chance. And most of you have joined in VIT with an aspiration of getting at least one job offer. So please do not miss out on the IT services company's offer, because if you get placed, I'll go to the next slide. So this is the criteria. So if you get placed in an IT services company, you will be still eligible for all categories of company, whether it is Dream IT or Dream Core or Super Dream. The request from our side is, see, the supply of UG students across the country is very high. And obviously, when the companies come, the product companies or core engineering companies, they come on campus, they would prefer a UG student or a PG student for various reasons, because the CTC that they offer for a UG student may be lesser. That is the case actually. So it becomes much more important for you to take one job offer and then aspire for the other ones. So please do not miss out on the IT services company's offer, because there is no restriction after that. Actually, once you get placed, you are still eligible for Dream Core and Super Dream, Dream IT and Super Dream offers. So, but in case if you miss out, actually there are many PG students who did not attend the selection process. Though we made that mandatory for the last year batch, some of them took it very lightly. So when we say that IT services are a mass hiring company, they are not into charity. So they also have a very stringent selection process. Unless otherwise you clear the selection process, you will not get selected. When we say 2,500 offers have been made by Cognizant, it is not just like that they have come and hired. Cognizant has hired 25 students also from other institutions actually. So it is the hard work that has been put by your seniors when it comes for the recruitment process. And you decide whether to join the company or not, the IT services company or not, after 1 year. So at least you will have one option in your hand. So going even with that one job offer actually is much more shameful than having a IT services offer, because all of us are from middle class families, and our parents wants us at least to have one job offer. Please do take it very seriously. I'm not trying to force you to take an IT services offer. All that we want to say to you is actually have one job offer and aspire for the other ones. So these are the rules that we follow in the selection process. So if you are, say for example, when you are attending the internship process, if you get selected in a Super Dream internship company, say for example, if you are getting into Intel, so once you get selected, you cannot sit for another Super Dream company when it comes during the placement season. Say for example, when Amazon comes for placements, actually you cannot sit for that. You can go for a lower offer, which is a dream offer, where there is no mandatory internship. So you can keep it as a backup option. Why we are doing this is because the Super Dream companies or dream companies that have offered internships, based on the earlier records, we could see that more than 90 to 95% of the students getting placed, actually getting converted into full-time offers after the selection process. So these rules, policy and guidelines will be there on the placement portal as well. And we also will mail you. So please go through that and attend the selection process. Okay, so Neopat, we will have this is the placement portal wherein you will be uploading all your academic details, where we will be sending notices. So if you are from, since most of you are from PG branches, you would have studied your UG elsewhere. You would have seen placement notices being displayed in your colleges, actually, in the placement notice board. We don't have a notice board here. Everything is a digitized process. So everything will come on your mobile or your desktop. So even the job notification and everything. So the Neopat portal is the placement portal where you will upload all your academic details and your resume. So please ensure that you upload your updated resume, because most of the internships that you are going to have, the shortlisting the companies may have a shortlisting criteria by seeing the your resume or the CV. So though you may have a 9 CGPA, but if your CV is not good, but if your resume is not good, you will not get shortlisted even for the initial selection process. So please ensure that you update your CV with all the academic credentials and the internships or short projects which you have done, and make it more attractive. So we will also facilitate a training program on resume building. But there are a lot of templates, or if you go and share search on Google, actually you can find out, because we don't have a one format for all. So you have your own creativity. You can add your own creativity in the resume and make it more attractive for the employer when they come for the recruitment process. So the platform will also have multiple features like online programming tests, the technical stuff that may be asked during the recruitment process. Please explore the portal and try to find out what is relevant for you, and start preparing for the selection process. So after my presentation, we will have a short presentation from the Neopat team on how to register for the, or how to upload your details on the placement portal. Okay, so I talked about the training. So we will be starting our training initially with the PG students, because you are the ones who are going to attend the selection process. So whatever training we are going to do, make it serious, or attend the training. Don't miss out on any of the training. Regarding the soft skills, you would have undergone your soft skills right from first year. In case so you would have thought that this may not be useful for your selection process, which you will find when you start attending the selection process. So I request you, all of you, to brush up the concepts that were taught in the soft skills, so that the aptitude or analytical part, actually, which is going to come in any of the selection process, is much more important. So unless you may be very good in coding, you may be very good in your technical skills, unless otherwise you clear your aptitude, which may have logical reasoning, analytical, which are part of your soft skills courses, this may not help you in clearing your initial test process. You may not have even an opportunity to attend an interview where you can showcase your skills. You may be very good in your communication or technical skills, unless otherwise you clear your aptitude, it's going to be very difficult. So I would urge you to go back to the concepts that were taught in the soft skills, the shortcuts that were taught, brush up them. The next couple of months is going to be very, very crucial for you. It may not be even 2 months, actually it will be less than a month, where your preparations will start from today. Okay, so some of the statistics, not to boast about our own records. So we usually get about 700 companies on campus. So in case if you are not getting selected in one company, don't lose your heart. Don't get frustrated. You have enough opportunity. You are not studying in a small college, actually, where you miss out on one company and there ends a career. So VIT brings in more than 700 companies. We would want everyone to get at least one job before you graduate. So in case if you fail in an interview, just that's fine, actually. So you have other opportunity, other bigger opportunity that God has kept for you. Please do not lose hope and start attending the other interviews. So these are the number of students placed. Actually, there are about 7,000 students have got on-campus placements this year. This is again the highest number in the country, across the country. Having said that, there are some students who took it very lightly. they were choosy in attending the selection process. They skipped the IT services recruitments, and now they are searching for jobs. And mind you, you will be competing with about 6,000, 5,000 students when you are on campus. But when you graduate and go out, you will be competing with 50,000, 60,000 students to get one job. So this is a golden opportunity what VIT provides. I request you to make use of it. So about 3,000 students have got super dream offers, in the sense they have got 10 lakhs and above CTCs this year. Around 4,000 students have got dream offers. Our average CTC has been on an increasing trend. It has gone up to 8 lakhs now this year. Okay, so this is for the core engineering students who are present here. VIT is one of the very few private institutions which is accredited by almost all the automobile companies that recruit from the country. So these are some of the topmost automobile companies that they recruit. The only thing is actually their placement process will be very stringent. You will need to be very strong in your technical skills. When you attend your selection process, they may not hire in hundreds and 200s or thousands. Their hiring numbers will be less than 10 from each institution, and which makes the competition much more bigger and higher. So you'll have to be present, and you'll have to prepare for your technical skills and start attending the selection process. So there are not many private institutions that are accredited by the public sector companies. So Indian Oil has accredited VIT, Engineers India visits VIT, CPCL visits VIT. So you have a good number of chances of getting into core engineering companies, but you will have to wait. There is no point in getting frustrated. The recruitment process, the recruitment calendar is different for them. So, but don't lose hope. Have one offer, have at least one IT offer or a consulting offer that comes on your way, and you can start attending the selection process. If you are from a core engineering branch, I think you would have gone through Java and other programming in your soft skills. So we would be identifying the top coders from the non-CS branches by administering a test process, which will happen very shortly. And if you are a good coder and if you code well, and if you are from a non-CS branch, and if your branch is not there in the selection list, we will usually identify about 200 top coders from UG and PG, and we communicate that to the companies where the non-CS students are not eligible. We would recommend them to allow them for the selection process. So in case if you want to attend the programming test, actually you can start preparing your I think we may have it in Python or Java, actually depending on the test process. Okay, we also do all girls event. This is again not many institutions do, though these companies come for both gender hiring. After some time they come only for exclusive for girls, and if you're a girl student, you have much more bigger opportunities at VIT. So these are consulting and data analytics companies that recruit from all branches. In the sense, they pay more than 6 lakhs per annum, and they recruit from all branches. So if you are good in your aptitude and the coding skills, then you have all chance of getting into these companies. And again, if you are from the core engineering branch, even if you are getting selected in these companies, you will be still eligible for the selection process. So these are programming portals that you need to practice. There are some of them which I have highlighted. There may be much more, so that you get into the leaderboards of these programming portals, which will be useful when you start attending the recruitment process. Regarding online courses, in case if you have not done any of the Coursera or Udemy courses, please do that. Start it today. Complete it. At least have one Coursera or Udemy or any of the other courses, which would help you when you attend the recruitment process, because most of the companies they see actually your self-learning capacity. So when you join a company, you may not have an opportunity of having a classroom session wherein they give you a classroom coaching for doing your task or project. So it's more of they give you a task and project, and you'll have to do it on your own. by searching net or going through the resources that are given by the company. So they see your learnability or the self-learning capacity before you go for the selection process. So I would urge that you have at least one online course from any of the portals which we have mentioned here, so that it would add value for your CV. So we also cater to international internships and placements. There are companies like MediaTek which come for the PG hiring for the Taiwan recruitment. So the numbers are less due to the COVID. So we may have, we are expecting some more international companies to come and recruit interns from the PG branches. So these are some of the placement records. These are top companies. Their records are not broken by any other institutions as of now. Again, we have got into the Limca Book of Records for more than 10 times now for highest number of offers. Okay, this is again a point which I want to stress. This is about the industry certification. So I talked about one online course in your CV. Have at least one industry certification in your CV. So industry certification, anyways, from today onwards, I think we are having a orientation session on the 2-credit industrial internship certification. So I think the university has allowed you to take in case if you are unable to do a industrial internship 2-credit, you are allowed to do a industry certification and compensate that. I think it is in some campuses it is given as a program elective. You can use this opportunity. We will give you a basket of certifications. These are all industry evaluated certification, so it involves some money. Think it as an investment that you are making, but it adds a lot of value when you go for your selection process, because usually these industry certifications are done by employees after joining the company for their promotions and upgradation. But if you have it in your CV at the student level, this will have a lot more value when you attend your selection process, and you can get into your area of interest. So in case if you are interested in, for example, in a cloud, you can do an AWS cloud practitioner or a solution architect certification, and when you are interviewed and if the company has that domain, you will automatically go into the domain, and it increases your career growth. So I think I request all of you to not to miss on the orientation which one of our assistant director, Dr. Manigandan, would be doing, facilitating. These companies will come and tell the advantages of doing this certification, what is the cost involved, and what is the duration of the training. Everything is going to be online. I urge, at least in case if you do not have an internship, the 2-credit thing also, I urge you to take it as a voluntary note and complete this before you come for the recruitment process. This will be last 4 slides. So what others do, what you would have done in your UG, in case if you are from a 2-year MTech program, because the opportunities were less there, you would have worked only for the services companies, preparing for the services companies, preparing for the aptitude test, and preparing for programming in final year. So there are people from MTech software engineering where they have studied programming and soft skills actually also in their curriculum. But in VIT actually we facilitate this programming after the training also, before you attend the selection process. Also please do attend. What you should do. So as I told you, preparing for aptitude test is also important. You have to improve your soft skills. The ability to communicate is much more important. You might be knowing all the technical answers, but if you are unable to communicate well, it's going to be difficult. So practice your soft skills in the sense, whatever this there from your area of interest, actually just prepare yourself to answer questions actually. So there will be a lot of technical questions. If you go on Google, you will find out what are the technical questions that will be asked from your domain. So be prepared and articulate yourself well. Do some practice sessions so that you answer the interviews well. Brush up your fundamentals. If you are not good in your fundamental concepts, if you are from 2-year MTechs, actually brush up your fundamentals from your undergrads as well, undergraduation as well. Because if you are not in good in our fundamentals, most of the technical questions will be from your the earlier semesters that you have studied, and you cannot say that I have forgotten the concepts that I have studied in my previous semesters. So have a digital footprint, have a LinkedIn account. In case if you do not have a LinkedIn account, please create one, start networking with your fellow colleagues or the people from the industry or from your own domain, from the alumni. So in case if you are not getting an internship through the placement office, you start searching for it in the through off campus also. So industry internship plays a vital role in determining your career. I told have industry certification, that is also mandatory. If you are from CS background, please practice algorithms and data structures, because the most of the questions, both in the technical test, online test, as well as in the interviews, you will get it from data, from algorithms and data structures. If you do not have an account in HackerRank, create one and start practicing the practice test that is there on HackerRank or HackerRank. Actually, for students, it's free. So you try to get into the leaderboards of these portals so that you are well prepared when you start attending the real online test process. Have more number of internships on your CV. In case if you have not done industry internship, even if you have done some small projects which are part of your curriculum, please highlight that in your CV so that it adds a lot of value when you go for an interview process. So even if it's a small internship, if you would have done for 1 or 2 weeks, that's fine actually. So highlight that in your CV and ensure that at least you have 2 or 3 internships actually in your CV. If you are from 5-year MTech program, you would have got about 3 or 4. The question that would come is actually you had 3 or 4 summers. Actually, what did you do? So try to have some at least 2 or 3 internships. If you are from an MCA or a 2-year MTech program, at least have one internship or a project work which you have done. Highlight that in your CV. Okay, so these are some of the important points regarding the eligibility criteria. This is the most important point. The eligibility criteria is not fixed by the CDC, not fixed by the placement office. The eligibility criteria or the inclusion of branches is done by the recruiting company. Say for example, control and automation was there last year. If it is not there this year for Intel, please don't come and ask us actually, because if the Intel doesn't have a requirement for that particular domain, they may not include that branch. So it is not we remove the branch or we increase the eligibility criteria. If it is going to be 8.5, it is 8.5. There is no point in negotiating with us. 8.49 is not equal to 8.5, and you will have to take it and start attending the other interviews wherever you are eligible. So there is no point in writing mails to us. We don't entertain students writing mails to us on the eligibility criteria, the parents writing, sending mails to the HODs, proctors, or deans, because see, we respect all of them, but the only thing is actually we are helpless in the sense actually it is not fixed by us, it is fixed by the industry. So another thing is actually we will not answer any query on phone. We would love to talk to you, but the only thing is actually if we have 5,000 to 6,000 students registering for placements from 4 campuses, and if we have 700 companies to coordinate in a year, you know actually what is the amount of work. Ours is a very, very small team. So the Vellore team, which coordinates the selection process, once it is finalized, is about 4 people. So if you start calling them and asking queries, actually it is absolutely out of the mind that we can answer all your queries. So any queries, all queries actually have to be written to this mail IDs, and our placement team will respond if the query is genuine. See, we will have all the rules and regulations. We also will have an FAQ in the placement portal. In case if you have any query, you just go and visit there and see whether it is whether your query is already answered there, or in case if it is genuine, just send it and wait for some time. So it is not a online query or a chat box actually where you can get answers immediately. you will get an answer if it is a genuine query, and you'll have to wait for it. Actually, nothing is urgent here, and it is not just one company that comes and recruit. In case if you miss out on one company, you will have another company recruiting you actually. Okay. Okay, 2 weeks of automatic suspension from the placement process. So we do not force anybody to sit for any process. All the placement process are voluntary. The registration for voluntary. But if you register and fail to attend the selection process, then you will be suspended for 2 weeks from the placement process. You cannot apply for. You will be blocked in the Neopat portal. You will not be able to apply for any new companies. So if it is a medical issue, you will have to mail us before the selection process, not after the selection process, saying that I'm sick or I'm unwell. If you are sick on the day of the process, before the process starts, you will have to mail us, and it has to be justified by a medical certificate issued by the VIT sales center. We don't take medical certificates outside VIT. So since all of you are going to be there on campus physically, so in case if you fell sick and if you are unable to attend the selection process, you will have to send a mail before the selection process and justify it by a medical certificate issued by the VIT's medical or health center. Okay. So in case if you do not attend the process, then you will be suspended for 2 weeks. So when do you withdraw? When do you want to withdraw? In case if you want to withdraw after registering, you can withdraw after the pre-placement talk. Just in case if the the job notification which we are going to put through the Neopat portal will have all the details like job location, your job profile, the CTC offered. In case if a company doesn't disclose some of the points, say for example, if the service agreement is not disclosed on the GD, and if it is told during the pre-placement talk, and if you are not comfortable with that, you can withdraw from this process by giving a letter to the placement coordinator saying, stating the reason for withdrawal. If the location is mentioned as Delhi, and if you do not want to go there, and if it is not mentioned in the job profile which was shared earlier, and if it was shared only during the pre-placement talk, then you can withdraw from the process, but you will not be eligible to attend any company that says the location is Delhi. So another thing, if in case if you withdraw for a process from a process stating that the company is asking for a 2 years bond or service agreement, the company which comes after that, actually in case if there is a service agreement, you will not be able to apply for that. So whenever you give a justification, please be genuine, and this will be followed for all companies. Whatever justification, whatever for the reason what you are giving for a withdrawal will be followed for all other companies as well. No extension of date and time. So in case if you miss out on the deadline, so each company job notification will have a deadline. In the sense, if the application closes on 23rd February at 12 noon, that's it. Actually, after that you cannot apply, and once the time is over, you cannot send we cannot do a manual registration. So sending us mails by you, by your parent or HOD or proctor or dean may not help. Once the deadline is over, that's it. You can attend the other process where you are eligible. So please ensure that you check your mails daily and apply before the deadline. Okay. So any misbehavior or malpractice reported during the placement process will be viewed very seriously, and you will be out of the placement process. It's not temporary suspension. You will be removed from the placement database. You cannot apply. And if the malpractice is much more severe, then it will be referred to the registrar, and the disciplinary action will be taken. So we don't want to threaten you or say all these things actually, but the only thing is actually when we are having 1,000 students, there may be 1 or 2 miscreants actually who create a bad day for the institution, and the reputation of VIT is very, very important, because all this, when we talk about 700 companies coming in for recruitments, that's the respect they have for the institution. So and we would take this very seriously, and you'll have to cooperate with the placement coordinators, whether it is a student placement coordinator or the faculty placement coordinator or the placement team. Any misbehavior with them, any rude behavior with them, we will view it very seriously, and we will be out of the placement process. Okay. Please note that the pre-placement talks also are part of the selection process. So it is mandatory for you to attend the pre-placement talks also. The sense, in case if you are absent for a pre-placement talk, you will not be eligible to take the online test process. And if you are not taking online test process, automatically you will be suspended for the next 2 weeks. So the pre-placement talk you will have to mandatorily attend in a formal dress. We will inform you at the time of the placement season. And if you attend 2 or more companies, so there may be multiple recruitments happening on a given day. If you are attending 2 interviews on a given day, and if both the companies announce the results on the same day, you have an option of choosing the company of your choice. So you can select your company, and the choice has to be given to the placement office immediately after the selection process. The results are announced. In case if there are 2 companies, if you have attended 2 interviews on Monday, and one company announces the result on Monday, and another company announces the result on Tuesday, the company which announced the result first, you will have to take the option. You will have no option of going for the company that announced the result on Tuesday. So this is the rule. If the companies announce the results on the same day, you will have an option of choosing the company. If the company announces the results one day after another, then whichever company that announced the result first on the first day, you will have to take that offer. All communications to the company should be routed only through the placement office. So any direct company communication with the HR or the any of the recruiter is not allowed. In case if you have any queries even after the selection to be asked from the recruiter, then you have to route your communication to the company through the placement office. Another thing, actually, we do not allow anybody to influence the recruiter, either it's your parent or yourself. Any such malpractice will lead to disciplinary action. I talked about importance of attending IT services companies recruitment. The other point is, I think we have already communicated at the time of registration itself that any student who declines super dream or dream offer, whether it is an internship or a placement, they will have to do an additional course. They will not only they will have to do an additional course, their offers also, in case if they have a lower offer also, it will be cancelled. So please make this point, take this point very seriously. If you have other options of doing your PhD or going for higher studies or having your own venture or a startup, please do not attend the selection process and get into trouble, because doing one academic course it's going to be very difficult, in the sense, actually, the course, since we follow this FFCS, we have to see whether the course is offered before you graduate, which will hinder your graduation itself. So in case if you have decided to not to go for a job, please do not register for placements. Okay. I talked about the visit of core companies and placement opportunities for core engineering students. You may get the number of opportunities will be less. So that is the status of the current job market status in India. And whatever opportunities come, that also may come little later, not during the start of the placement season. So you'll have to wait patiently and attend the selection process. Okay, I talked about companies recruiting for internships. So you do not have an option in case if it's a super dream internship. You can go only for a dream offer as a backup placement, and you cannot sit for a parallel super dream placement offer. And if it is a dream offer, then you can go for a dream internship. You can go for a super dream offer and a regular IT services offer and keep it as a backup. So that's the option. And when we say the student is selected, once either the company or the placement office will send out a result announcement notice. So once your name comes as a student selected by a particular company, there ends your placement process. So you cannot go for another process where even if your name is there on the shortlist or applied list. So say for example, if you are getting selected by Amazon on the first day, still you're shortlisted for another interview on the next day, maybe a PayPal or an Intel the next day, you cannot go and sit for the process. So once the result is announced, you will have to withdraw from all the process, and even if your name is there in the applied list or the short list. Okay, so once you come back, we will have some more shorter meetings, and so that you will get to know much more details on the placement process. This is a general orientation. The first thing which you have to do now is register for placements. And from 1st March onwards, actually, we will give you the login IDs for logging into the Neopat portal. So within 3-4 days, you will have to register and upload all your academic details and upload your latest CV. So start preparing for your CV now and get all your academic details ready. The CGPA you cannot update on the portal. It will be updated based on your COE and academics records. Okay, so I wish all of you a very bright placement season. Hope to meet you soon on our campuses, and we also will come and meet you and we'll get started with the placement season. And best wishes to all of you. May God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for very elaborate and clear guidance for our students. Sir, I would like to make one more point, sir, regarding their internship. If they are taking up internship and they are cancelling, they have to do one additional course, sir. That can be mentioned.
Yeah, I have mentioned at least.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, students. For 2-year MSc Data Science alone, it is 6 months. Whereas for other PG, it is more than 6 months, 9 to 10 months project period. Over to Team Neo.
Sir, for PG students, 2-year MCA, MTech, for Chennai campus, CGPA has not been updated. So, as discussed with the COE office, it will get completed by March 1st week. So, we will be enabling the PAT registration after that, sir.
No, let them leave the CGPA. Actually, let them fill in all the details. They will know whether they have passed or failed. No, actually, whoever has passed, let them register. Okay. And we will update the CGPA on the portal later.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Ramanathan, you may take another 30 to 35 minutes. Students will be given OD from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Now, please listen to this presentation very carefully because you will have to upload all your details. So, please listen to this presentation carefully now.
Yes, sir. So thanks for this brief orientation. And hi, students. So this is Ramanathan from Neopat. So I will be explaining you our product, Neopat's ERP tool, where you will be using this respective tool to handle all kind of your placement activities. So the first thing I will be doing is that I will share my screen and start presenting. So I hope that my screen is visible. So hi, students. So once the process has been initiated, you will be receiving a mail from bat.placement@gmail.com. So it states that you have been enrolled in our portal, and you will also be adding, you will be having the URL from which our portal is being there, and also the login credentials for the same. So our URL is nothing but the placement.bat.ac.in. So which will also be communicated to you through the mail after you have been enrolled to our portal. So this is the URL which you need to note it out, and you need to check it out for your further inquiries or any kind of details with respect to your placement aspects. So once you post this in your Chrome, and you will be forced to this respective page, and this is your login page. So in this login page, you will be having a space to put in your email ID. So where you will be posting your respective official college mail ID. So for example, if my official college mail ID is batstudent@examine.io, just imagine that this is my college mail ID. So my password will be the official default set password will be the characters before @ symbol. So which is a default one. So once you receive this password and also your login credentials, the first thing you need to do is that you need to log in and get it, and you must to change your password as per your requirement. So as of now, I will be logging into my respective portal. So since my profile is already been logged in, I have directly posted it to the portal. So now after getting into this respective profile page, the first thing I will be shown is my Drive channel. So as I said you that whenever you do log in, the first thing you must do is that you need to get into this respective account settings. So in account settings, you will be asked to put in your password, which is the default one. So once you put in your default password, the second thing you need to do is that you need to get it, and you must update your password as per your requirement, as per your convenience for your security purposes. So the first step you need to do is that you will be receiving a mail. Then you will be having your login credentials and also the URL for the same. So you will be posting in the URL and push it into the login panel. Then you will be having your login credentials and you will be logging into the portal. And the first step you need to do is that get into the account settings and post in your password and update your password for security purposes. So once this step one is being done, so the second thing you need to do is that you need to get into this respective profiles panel. So this respective profiles panel is to make sure that you update your profile from inch by inch to any aspects, to make sure that you have an updated profile so that you will be eligible for the upcoming placement seasons. And this is a major part, my dear students. So in this respective profile panel, you will be having your campus details. For example, if you are from Bhopal campus or Amravati campus or Bangalore or Chennai, you will be having your campus which is being mentioned below. So since this is a demo account, so this is named as testing. So and also a badge of yours will be mentioned below this respective one, and also your department and degree. So this is a major categorization of your profile. So please do make sure that you have your updated profile here. If you have any updations needed in these 4 areas, you need to check your CTC cell by mailing to them so that they will be updating these in these aspects. So once you checking those, on the left side you will be having your basic details. So which is your name, your registration number, your email ID, and also tags if any. So the first thing is that you need to check your name with your initial. For example, if you need to update the same, you can click on this edit icon and you will be able to update your name, first name and last name. So after updating the first name and last name, you will not have a provision to update your register number or your mail ID. To update your register number or any mail ID, you need to check with the CTC cell for the same, so that they will be updating those from the admin side. So through mail, you can communicate this with them, and so that they will be updating this after a verification. Then they will update for the same. So once you update this respective panel, so tags is nothing but if the admin side provide the tags for you, so that will be good. You can you need not to worry about it if it is blank. So the more major important thing you need to check in this aspect is that the profile status. So please, my dear students, please do always to make sure that your respective profile panel profile status will only should only be approved. So unless and until your profile status is been approved, you will not be able to eligible or apply or opt in or opt out or accept or decline for any kind of drives, because the criteria one for any kind of drive which is being posted in Neopat is the first criteria is this approved status. So please do make sure that your profile status is being in approved state. If not, you can mail to CTC cell regarding the same so that they will check and update your profile. So once you update all kind of these basic details, the second part is your details. So with respect to your academic details, it starts from the 10th, 12th, diploma, UG and PG. So these are the information which are the basic requirements for a drive, and also your backlog history and current backlogs and interested in placements or not. So these are the details which is being provided for you, and this will be uploaded from the CTC cell. So for example, if my 10th is 80% and 12% is 80, and I have not done my diploma, it will be written as not applicable, and my UG percentage is 65 and I have not done my PG yet, then so it is not applicable, and also the backlog history and other details. So if you say that, for example, if you are a student who is moving from 6th semester to 7th semester, you will definitely have a change in percentage of your UG, that is your undergraduate. So in those scenarios, you can also request for a change in your respective UG percentage, where you will be clicking on this respective edit icon. By clicking on this edit icon, you will have an option to update your respective percentage or CGPA of this respective UG. The thing is that I have already raised the request of change for all the 4 details. So those are in status of waiting for approval. So there, the admin side will have a status check of this respective profile, and then they will approve from their side. So for example, if I am a student who has a PG percentage of around 75, I will be also raising a request for the same by clicking on this required or updated percentage or the CGPA. So if it is a percentage, select it as percentage. So after this, and I can also check whether the not requesting a request for the same, where the admins will be providing the access, or they will be, after the check, they will be providing the approval for the same. So you need to do is that you need to send request for the same. So once you click on send request, the request yes, student. So once this academic details has been uploaded, now you be able to see that there are some additional details which are been attached below. So in this respective additional information, you will be having the other details such as your Gmail ID, your parent's mobile number, Aadhaar card, PAN card number, and these other details will be mentioned below in this additional information. So this is how there may be some several kind of details will be mentioned below. You can also request a raise, or you can also update or edit this respective additional details by clicking on this edit icon for the same. So once you put in the updated one, you can also click on save to update this respective additional details. So you can also see that the additional information updated successfully. So once you update your basic details, your additional details, your academic details, you will also have a provision to update your resume. So in this right side panel, you have an option 2 for resume, where you can also upload your resume. By clicking on this upload resume, you have a provision to upload resume. You will file which you needed to upload, and by clicking on this respective file, I will be able to upload. Always use your resume for scenarios, so that please do make sure that always you must keep your profile updated. So where your academic details, personal details, and also your resume will be updated on a regular basis. So once you do these all things, all these you can directly move on to this respective drives panel. So under drives, all drives. So my drives shows me the number of drives that is eligible for me. That is my drive, which obviously the drives which I am eligible for after having a cross check with the eligibility criteria required for the respective company. So under these two subpanels, you have my drives. So you all have a small dashboard where you'll be able to see the total number of drives available. So for my drives, so students, you also have a provision to check or sort using this respective option, while we can also sort or filter. So under sort by, you can also sort this respective drives. As of now, we just have 4 to 5 drives. Scenarios, that might be some n number of drives, that might be some around 40 status or date after using status. So this is in the coming week or the coming month, or maybe in the coming 2 months. So eligible drive is nothing but every company or every drive has its own eligibility criteria. So the respective eligibility criteria will have a cross check on yours. So now if your profile is being eligible for this respective drive, you will be eligible for a respective company. So at those scenarios, when you use this filter option, the drives for which you are eligible for will be visible after you posted this respective filter. So the third filter is opted in. So if you are eligible, and the next step you can do is that you can opt in or opt out. So opt in is nothing but you have accepted for a drive. Opted out is nothing but you have declined for a drive. So as of now, the name mentioned is opted in and opted out. So it will be updated to accepted and declined. So opted in is nothing but you are accepting and you are nominating for a drive. So opted out is nothing but you are declining or moving out from the respective drive. So opted in. So once you click on this, the drives you have opted in will be listed below. And the fourth one is placed. So if you have attended a drive and you have placed for the same, so those drives will be listed below. So rejected. So if you have rejected from round 2 of a respective drive, those drives will be listed below and also opted out. So opted out is nothing but if you are declined from a drive or you have moved out from a drive, so those drives will be listed here. So we also have a filter option for job type. So job type full-time jobs or 5 to 10 or 10 lakh. So 10 lakh who needs to focus on only supervision offers, you can use these filter option and you can focus on those so those companies and you can work accordingly. So you also have a search bar where you can search your drive as per your requirement. Where this scenario will be used where you have around 50 to 100 number of drives. So these are the scenarios which can be used students, and I will also show you that this respective is used for log out from this respective ID and is used to if you have my drives, my dear students, if a drive is being told and you are eligible for a respective drive, so that is one scenario. You are eligible for a respective drive. And the second scenario is that you are not eligible for a respective drive. So this is another scenario. And this you are eligible for a drive and you are placed on respective drive. So this is another scenario. So I will also show you drives on these three areas that just imagine that. So this is a kind of full-time role, and this is for the role and for the company recruitment drive. So this respective drive starts, and you need to get to know the status of this respective drive, whether you are eligible or not. You can accept or decline for this drive. So you also have a tag mentioning here as eligible. So you can do two actions, that is opt in or opt out. So as I mentioned, my dear students, so opt in is nothing but you can accept for a drive. So opt out is nothing but you can decline for a drive. So before doing such actions, the major things you need to know about the respective drive is that you need to get to know the complete details of this respective drive before you do accept or decline for a specific one. Because once you do opt in or opt out, you cannot. There are two scenarios where you can also do multiple actions as opt in or opt out, or there are many scenarios where you can do only one actions. So to avoid those confusions, you can get to know this details of this respective drive completely. Then you can move on with the action of opt-in or opting out. So under this respective company, you also have the type of this respective drive, and you also have the respective details and description of this respective drive. So as of this respective drive, you also have a requirement of primary skill requirement, and also the personal attributes which has been mentioned by the respective drive or company, and the roles and responsibilities of this respective company, and the skill required for the respective company, and also there might also some details which will be mentioned over here. So once you go through all these details, you can also have a JD which can be downloaded. When you click on this download file is nothing but the job description of this respective file, where you can also download and you can have a complete walkthrough of this respective file. Before you do any kind of action for this basic details and also the JD of this respective drive, below which you have other kind of details, which is what kind of profile is this respective drive for, which is for developer. So what kind of drive type it is for? It is a kind of green offer. So what is the salary for this respective drive? It is 9 lakh per annum annually. So what are the locations available? It is Chennai and Bangalore. So what is my state as of this respective drive? I am eligible. So then you have a chain-like structure of the round status. So imagine that this respective drive is only having just 2 rounds. So first thing is that you will have an overview. By clicking on this, you will have this overview of this respective drive. So the placement date is on Feb 26, 2022, and this respective placement date is tentative. So tentative is nothing but a drive date is not been confirmed yet. So there might be also some changes for this respective drive. So if it is mentioned as confirmed date, then it is a confirmed date. So the students, you need not to worry about the same. For example, if this date has been tentative, and I am the member who is updating this respective drive from admin side. So if I am updating it to 28, you will definitely receive a mail stating that a drive date change has been done, and please do check for the same. So the major part of Neopat is that we have a strong communication panel where any kind of action which takes place with respect to drive date changes, or for example, imagine a drive is being pulled in a respective campus or respective department or campus, you will be intimated in the mail. If you are eligible for the same, you will be intimated that you are eligible. Please do check it and opt in or opt out. So if you are not eligible, you will also receive a mail for the same stating that, hey, you are not eligible for this respective drive. Please do check in and get to know that what are the reasons that why you are not eligible. So at you, for example, if you are moved from round 1 to round 2, you will receive a mail. If you are moving from round 2 to round 3, you will receive a mail. So what are the actions happening in this respective drives panel, you will be intimated for the same regarding the respective drives. So the next part is the last day to apply. So the last day to apply will also have the time which is being mentioned. So please do make sure that you opt in for a respective drive before the last day to apply. Because whenever you do try to opt in after the last day to apply, you will not be able to do, then you cannot claim with any CDC members regarding the same that I have forgot or anything else. Please do make sure that you check this respective portal and your mail on a frequent basis, and you do the actions of opting in or opting out after without any procrastination. So the next part is the round status. So round status shows you the detailing of the round wise things which will be happening in this respective drive. So in this respective drive, we have a pre-placement talk which is PPT mentioned, and the pre-placement talk is on Feb 24th, which is on tomorrow. The venue is auditorium. So the round one is on round one type is online assessment, and which is on Feb 25th, 2022, and the time is 9 to 2 a.m. and the venue will be announced later. So likewise, you also have the technical interview and also the time and the date of the venue of the respective drive. So once you go through this respective round-wise details, you also have a provision to check that why you are eligible for this respective drive. So instead of getting to know that you are eligible for the respective drive, you can also get to know the reason why you are eligible for the respective drive. So for example, to click to view eligibility criteria, click a link to view. So the first thing, the eligibility criteria. So these are the criteria which is required, and this is the eligibility required for this respective company, and this is your data. So this respective data will have a cross check with each other, and once you have equivalent or above the requirement, you will be eligible for this respective drive. So this will be picturized in a manner stating showing that a tick symbol with green color icon. So imagine that, for example, this company doesn't allow history of arrears and you have some history of arrears, you will be not eligible for the respective drive, and you will have a cross icon with red color stating that you are not eligible due to this respective reason. So you are eligible, you can find out the reason why you are eligible, and if you are not eligible, at those scenarios also you can find out that why you are not eligible, and you need not to run behind any CBC members to get to know the reason why you are not eligible. So I can also show you that the first important thing when you look into drive is that students, your profile must be in approved status. So one and only if your profile is in approved status, you will be eligible for a drive. So this is the criteria one, and you have tick mark over here. And the degree which is being required for this respective drive is testing BE mechanical. So imagine that BE mechanical and BE automobile. So if you are from BE mechanical, so it has a cross check, and you are from the respective department and you are eligible. So now 10. So 10th why you are not eligible. So yes, students, so once now I have got an overview of all kind of details for this respective drive, and I have respective JD. So I will do an action of accepting this drive or declining this drive. That means that opting in or opting out for this respective drive. So imagine that I am interested for this respective company. So now I need to opt in for this respective drive. So when I click on this opt in, I have a pop-up stating that drive required additional details. So this shows me that raises me a question that have you done any internship? So yes or no? Okay, yes. So students, you will definitely have this kind of pop-up where whenever a company needs your details for their respective, they will ask some 4 to 5 kind of questions. They might ask some questions like, have you done some internship? So do you have any previous work experience? So they might also ask some questions like, so what is your preferred work location? One, so what is your preferred work location? Two, so they can also ask some questions like, write about yourself, where you can also answer those raised in this respective drive required additional details. So which is a mandatory one. So without you cannot opt in or opt out or do any kind of details for this respective drive. So there may be also some conditions. So since this respective company doesn't has any terms and conditions, that might also some cases where you will have some terms and conditions stating that hey, make sure before you opt for the same. So you will be having a tick mark, and without which you will not be able to opt in. So please do make sure that you do go through all kind of questions and answer for the same consciousness, and then you do click on save. So then only you will be able to opt in or opt out for the respective drive. So now please type opt-in in text box to confirm. So this is for a manual confirmation from your side. So where you need to type in as OBDIN, so that then only you will be able to do opt-in or opt-out for the same. So for this is to avoid cases where you will not say that, sir, I have accidentally opted in or accidentally opted out. This is for the confirmation from the student side. So now I have manually typed in as opt-in, and then I will be clicking on confirm, and now I have opted in for this respective drive. So after I do opt in for this respective drive, I will also have some provision and scenarios to opt out for the same. Unable to opt in for this. Yes, I have opted in. So this is my label, so stating me that I have opted in. So in this scenario, I also have a tab showing that I can also opt out. So there are two scenarios for students. So where the drive can show you that you can opt in and opt out and do multiple actions by within the last day to apply. You can also do opt in or opt out within the last day to apply. So there are also some scenarios where the staffs can only give you one action where you can do only one single step as opt in or opt out till the last day to apply. So please do make sure that you take a decision very consciously before you do opt in or opt out. So after now, I have showed you a scenario and actions needed to be done while a drive is eligible for you or need to do opt in or opt out. So the next thing is that I will show you another scenario where your drive you are not eligible or you are placed. So just imagine that a drive is being told and you are eligible for the same and you are opted in for a respective drive. So we have a drive stating that for the role QA analyst, and which is of a company recruitment drive, and this is a full-time offer, and you also have the details as I showed you for the previous drive. So I have opted in and I have eligible for the respective drive, then opted in and then I am applied for this respective drive and I have placed in this respective drive. So this respective drive has only 2 rounds. So then I have placed in the respective drive. So I will also show you that your major responsibility or a duty which you need to do after you get placed in a company. So once you get placed in a company, so the next confirmation, that is an official confirmation from the company you will get is your offer letter. So once you do get placed in a company, you will definitely receive your offer letter. So once you receive your offer letter, the major duty or responsibility you need to do is that you need to upload your offer letter. So in this respective panel, you also have an option to stating that upload offer letter. When you click on this upload offer letter, I can select my file as per my requirement and then I can upload my offer letter for the same. So this is a major duty or responsibility you need to do. So once you do this, you will also have a provision to check out the every kind of details as I showed you for the previous slide. So I can also have the overview for the same. So overview shows me, clicking on this overview icon will show me these details where I will be able to see the placement date. So the last date to apply, so and also the round wise status, and also the additional details which I have provided as I have done an internship or not. So I also have a provision to check out my eligibility criteria for the same. So yes, students, so this is the second scenario. I will show you the third scenario of if you are not eligible. So all drives shows me the list of drives which is being for my respective campus. So this also shows me the drives which I am not eligible. So this is a drive which I am not eligible for the whole developer and QA analyst. So which is from company identity recruitment drive and for the location Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai. So this is for multiple profiles. So when I click on and get it, I will, as same, I will also able to see the details for this respective drive, the basic details, also the description for the same, and then I will also have the JD for the same. And below which I have a profile stating that developer and QA analyst. So developer, so there are also some drives will be coming out for two to three profiles. So showing that so a same company Byju's or any Amazon or any company may come out for sales, marketing, and also developer or full stack developer, multiple profiles. So at those scenarios, you must make sure that you opt in for your interested profile. So while opting in, you have to select your required or interested profile, and then you do opt in. So here you have a multiple profile option, and then the drive type is dream offer, and the salary is of multiple profiles. So and the salary will be mentioned below. So if it is mentioned as multiple profiles, the salary will be mentioned below with a clear description. So if I'm kind of student who is looking for my interpersonal development, I will be choosing to know that why I am not eligible, so that I can enhance myself in for the upcoming drives. So I also have a chain like structure stating that the number of drives available, and I also have the placement date for the same, and also the last date to apply. So now I have a criteria one showing me that my UG percentage is 65%, but the eligibility required is 70%. So this is the reason why you are not eligible. So at those scenarios, you can get to know that the reason why you are not eligible, and you can plan your academics accordingly. So after getting to know this, you also have the profile salary. So under profile salary, you have two profiles. So as I said you that this respective drive is for two profiles. One is for developer and another is for QA analyst. So for developer, the salary is 7.5 lakh per annum, and they don't have any split up or any description for the same. So for QA analyst, you have a salary variation of around 4.5 to 5.25 lakh per annum, and they have a description for the same stating that the fixed pay is around 4 lakh to 4.5 lakh per annum, and the variable pay is of 50,000 to 75,000. So in future cases, you will have a clear description of what is your salary package, that is your CTC, and what is your fixed salary, what is your bonus salary, and what is your incentive, and what is your variable pay, and every kind of detailing with respect to your respective salary will be mentioned below. So our drives panel provides you a microscopic view on the drive so that you can take your action accordingly. So below which you also have a provision to check out the selection process. So which is the round wise status. So the round one is pre-placement talk and the location and venue. And likewise, you also have the venue and the date for the other rounds. So after getting to know these details, you can plan your academics accordingly, so that for the upcoming drives, you can enhance your UG percentage, so that you can get to know the reason why you're not eligible, and then you can plan your academics. So yes, students, so I have showed you the three kind of scenarios. The first thing is that what are the things you need to do if you are eligible for a respective drive. So the second scenario is if you are eligible and you have opted in and you have attended the drive and you are placed, what are the responsibilities you need to do? That is, you need to upload your offer letter. And the third is that if you are not eligible, what are the things you need to do? So after you have attended 10 to 15 drives, you will be having an idea of getting to know that where you lack and where you need to perform well and well. So that we also have a provision of dashboards. So under dashboard, you have a drive dashboard available. So by clicking on this drive dashboard, you have a basic dashboard stating you that the number of drives for your batch, the number of drives for your the drives you are eligible for, the drives you are not eligible for, your manually added drive, your applied drives, so you are not selected drives, so you are off. In detailed statistics of your performance with respect to your drive, so that you can get to know that which is your best strong round and which is your weak rounds. So for example, this shows you the opt-in drives detailed status. So these are the drives you are opted in and also the status for the same. and below which you have the round type wise status. So this shows you that the rounds will be named over here, and this blue color shows you that you are, yellow color shows you your waitlisted, and this green color shows you are selected. So imagine that you have attended online assessment round 5 times. So in those 5 times, 3 times you are waitlisted. Get to know that you are 40% strength. So this respective red color shows you your strength percentage, and this blue color shows you your weak percentage. You can get to know that you are more weaker than strong in this respective online assessment, and you can plan your schedule, or you can plan your preparation for the rounds accordingly. So for technical rounds, you have attended 2 times and you have cleared on those 2 times. So you can get to know the other rounds you are weaker on. So HR round you have attended 1 time, and then you have not selected from this respective 1 time. So this shows you your strength weak area. You can get to know that, hey, I have passed out or failed in this HR round, and you will be focusing on HR or group discussion on those kind of rounds. So this is a table which shows you that clear analytics on what is your strength and weak area. So for example, imagine that you have around 50 to 60 drives you have attended. So at those scenarios, you will be having a clear statistics on what is your strength and what is your weak area, and you can plan your preparation for the upcoming rounds accordingly. So below which you have the best performing drives, your least performing drives, and you also have a provision to check the eligible. So if you are eligible but you are not operated, so those drives will be listed below, and you are not eligible drive. So you are not eligible for the respective drive. So you can also go and check that why you are not eligible, as I mentioned or explained to you earlier. And you also have the round wise opt-in drive status of any kind of drive. So for example, if I need to get to know the report for this respective IMU recruitment drive, you can get to know that the round wise status, and you can also select your drives as per your requirement and get to know the status for the same. So this shows me that there are 2 rounds for this respective drive, and the round 1 is online assessment and the round 2 is technical interview, and I have attended 1 time and selected two rounds. So this shows me a report and get to know your status with respect to each and every company. So yes, students, so this is how your whole structure or journey with Neopat goes on. So I will have a brief on it from first. The first thing you will receive is that you will receive a mail stating that you are being onboarded to Neopat. You will receive an URL with the login credentials, with which you will get into our portal, and then you will log in our portal and start accessing it. And the next step you will be doing is that you will get into this account settings, and you will update your password for security purposes. So the third step you will do is that you will get into the profile panel, and you make sure that you have an updated profile details at any stage and any scenario. So the next thing you will get to know the number of drives available in the package, with the other details, and your status with respect to each and every drive, and whether you can opt in or opt out, or you can get to know the status. And if you are placed for a respective drive, please do upload your offer letter. And the last thing is that you can get to know the statistics for the same. So with respect to your round-wise statistics. So yes, students. So this is your whole journey with Neopat goes like, and please do make sure that you use this respective portal efficiently, so that you can have a good, fruitful usage from our portal, and you can also get to know the statistics for the same. Yes, students. Thanks from my side. Thanks from being here. Hi, sir. So I am done from my side, sir.
Thank you to the entire team of Neopat and entire Vellore team and all DDs of Chennai, Vellore, AP and Bhopal campus. A big thanks to our director sir for getting this orientation done for students. Hope you will get clarity. And thanks so much for our CTS team for making this happen through the live stream. See you all, stay safe, and welcome back to VAT to get your life offers. Bye-bye.